Hello and welcome back to the ISL preview show brought to you by KhelNow.com. Today we'll be previewing the team from the capital itself, Delhi Dynamos FC. In studio today we have Nikhil Sharma. Hi Nikhil.
Hi Gibran, how are you?
Good. Talking about Delhi Dynamos, highlight of the season, signing of Roberto Carlos. You think he's a good buy?
Absolutely. If you look at the squad of Delhi Dynamos, some good work done there by the management, and of course the highlight for the transfer season in the ISL is getting a name like Roberto Carlos down to India, and credit to the management of Delhi Dynamos to get Roberto Carlos down here.
So Nikhil, starting off with the goalkeepers, it's a bit of a tough call for Delhi between Subhashish Roy, who won the ISL in the first edition with 80k, and now they've brought in Tony Douglas, who's an ex-Napoli player, full of experience. Who will be their preference in the goal, according to you?
Gibran, I think there's a bit of fitness concern here. Subhashish hasn't played after playing the ISL, although he's a fantastic goalkeeper, won the ISL first season with 80k. He swapped places with Adel quite a number of times, but ultimately performed admirably. Tony Douglas again on their pre-season has had a bit of hit there. I reckon he's recovering. Ravi Kumar, Sporting Goa player, has been part of the India under-23 setup. There's also news coming in that Delhi have a few other goalkeepers on trials. We can't confirm that, but looks like a concern area. If all of them are fit, of course Subhashish and Tony Douglas should be the guys exchanging places. Yeah. But as of now, seems like a concern area to me to start off with. But I think by the time the season starts, Delhi should be okay.
Now, looking at the defense, Nikhil, it's very interesting. John Riise, ex-Liverpool, very strong player at the back, along with no other than Roberto Carlos himself. Looking good at the back line, don't you think?
Well, they are looking good. They're looking decent there at least. Delhi are a team that I put my bets on going forward. Defensively, yes, they have, John Riise. Roberto Carlos has been picked up as a marquee player. I don't see him getting too much of game time or giving himself too much of game time. He's 42, he's not really played too much, he's been on the legend circuit, but it's a slightly different thing to get onto the field in a competitive game in the ISL and play it. Riise looks like somebody who's going to start at the left centre-back position, is not going to play in his left-back position there. They have a couple of very good Indian centre-backs there as well. Anwar Ali did a good job for the Dynamos last season. There's Anas there as well. Serginho Green, who can actually play in the right-back position, can also slot in the middle of defence. And there's Brazilian Chicao there as well. Good position would be for them. Naba Singh and Prabir Das fighting it out for the right-back position. We'll have to wait and watch really how this pans out defensively for the Dynamos.
Yeah.
But by the looks of it, Riise, probably one of Anas or Anwar starting, and then they could even have Zoding Liana playing, who's more of a left midfield, tucking in and playing as a left back, which has happened against FCV in the pre-season game that they played.
Coming to the midfield, Nikhil, they have retained Hans Mulder, who's obviously a very important player for them in the midfield. Then they have Florent Malouda, who again does not need any introduction, ex-Chelsea player. He'll be running the wings for them. Interesting combination in the midfield, don't you think?
Yeah, some very interesting names there. If you look at the likes of Hans Mulder, I think he'll be a sure shot starter for them, probably in a defensive midfield position. Maybe they play one or two there. There's Shehnaz Singh as well, who could very easily slot in with Hans Mulder depending on what the combination they're playing. They have Souvik Chakravarti, they have Vignesh there as well. Again, on the right, Mama and Francis Fernandez probably can compete for a place there.
Yeah.
There's Gustavo, Dos Santos, who was the highest goal scorer last season. He plays for them as well. They have a couple of names, who could all slot in. Len Dungal, who's actually a striker, can play on the right as well. Hans Mulder, Malouda, and probably Shehnaz Singh right away look like the names that they could most definitely have a part to play in the Dynamos midfield.
Right. Looking at their forward line, Robin Singh, the boy from Delhi itself, he's a starting player in the Indian team. Delhi Dynamos then have Adil Nabi, who's on loan from West Brom. He'll provide a bit of speed and creativity up front, along with Gustavo, who Delhi Dynamos retained, who was outstanding for them in the first season.
Yes, absolutely. There are certain options for Delhi that seem to be very, very good bets. Starting off with Adil Nabi, the under-21 Premier League, he's performed really well for them. His stats speak for themselves. So he looks like a sure shot starter for them as well. Hopefully, being a young guy, he can He can sustain the tough fixtures. Robin Singh gives them a lot of options, playing the ball direct. He's a very hard-working boy. Sometimes gets a lot of flack, which I think is probably it's not something that he deserves. Does a lot of running off the ball as well, trying to press the defenses, the opposition defenses. Len Dungal can really play the ball at his feet, can run, can hold the ball, can pass it. A lot of things there. Of course, they have two unknown quantities. One of whom I think is a very good find, Richard Gatse from Ghana. Whatever we've seen of his, there are not too many stats to talk about, but in the videos he seemed like a good deal to get. And then of course they have another find now, Vinicius Ferreira de Souza. We don't know much about him, but that's what the Super League is about. There are a lot of players coming in and proving the point. Nobody really knew Gustavo before he came and performed so well, or for that matter, Bruno Pellissari for Chennai. These are boys that can actually come. There's a platform, and they will get chances because 3 games a week, squads have to be rotated. Looks like a good midfield and a forward line for Delhi.
Moving on to the tactics, Nikhil. How do you see the Delhi team lining up?
Again, there are a few options that Delhi could employ. You could either have a 4-2-3-1 with Hans Mulder and Shehnaz Singh playing in there. Their back four as of now looks like Rize with either one of Anwar or Anas. That should ideally be what they should start with, but there could be Shikau starting there as well. But I think Rize with either Anwar Ali or Anas playing on the right centre-back position. Zoding they've utilised, Zoding Liana, Adinga as he's known as. They've used as a left-back, but I think Praveer Das could slot in there as well, although he's more of a right-sided player. So that's the back four, likely back four. Hans Mulder and Shehnaz Singh playing in the middle of the park with Malouda playing up top, and then Gustavo on the right, Adil Nabi on the left, and maybe Robin Singh, playing number 9. So
right.
quite a lot of combinations that Delhi could play. Remains to be seen because they have certain players that we don't know anything about. So once they come in, we have a good look at them. Then the picture will be clear after a few games.
Now, according to you, where do you think the Delhi team will finish in the table?
Quite tough to say that right away. What Delhi have done is they've got few world-class players that they've brought in. So you're talking about a Rize, you're talking about a Hans Mulder, there's Malouda, there's Adil Nabi as well. And coupled with them, they have a few inexperienced, or so to say, players like Vinicius or Richard Gatse that they've brought in. They're really unknown quantities, so you don't know what they're going to come up with. Going forward, Delhi are going to be very, very dangerous. You have some real quality with them going forward. I think Delhi's position will be decided on how good they could be defensively and in the goalkeeping department. If they can manage to hold off, not concede too many, the top 4 is quite possible. I mean, very likely that they can go there, but a lot of work needs to be done in terms of what you do on the field. Attacking wise, going forward, Delhi look very, very menacing. Defensively, can they shore up? Remains to be seen there.
Thanks, Nikhil. Thank you for your input.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching ISL's preview show, brought to you by KhelNow.com. Keep watching. Thank you.